All right, welcome back. So today, I again just wanted to react to a few comments and some common themes that I'm seeing with the people who are having the most amount of problems with their manifestation and materializing their desires. And what I want to talk about today is why you shouldn't really look at the 3D and you shouldn't look for movement. And I've said this before, and people are going to get mad at me. Wavering isn't just thinking against it directly. Wavering is also saying things to yourself. Where is it? How long is it going to take for it to come? Am I doing this correctly? Should I change the technique? Where is the movement? Where are the signs? All of these are wavering. They all waver. That's all wavering. All that is wavering. And again, like I always say when it comes to my golden rule in Pacific is just affirm, don't waver. And again, all of that is wavering. All that goes against the golden rule. So we're going to talk about that a little bit in this video. So let's start off with the first question. Why is that so bad? Again, I just kind of explained it. It is so bad because again, it goes against the golden rule. You can't waver. If you look at the movement and you're constantly looking at the 3D and you're saying, where is it? Why isn't it here? Where is the movement? Am I doing this correctly? They are all signs of wavering. And again, you manifest who you are. I've said this hundreds of times. You only manifest who you are inside your imagination. How you view yourself, your self-concept, which again I made a video about yesterday. If your self-concept and the way you view yourself is I am a person who is constantly looking at the 3D, is a person who is constantly wondering if I'm doing this correctly. I am a person who is constantly looking for signs and these BS signs of like angel numbers and all this stuff. Well, guess what? You will always be that person because that is what you are. You only manifest who you are inside your imagination. And you guys, I hate to tell you this, you are a person who is just looking for signs and wavering and wondering if you're doing this correctly and why is it not working for me? Why is it working for everyone else? Stop doing that. Stop looking at the 3D. You have to ignore it. The 3D comes after. It is, you guys have to understand that the 3D comes after. You shouldn't put so much significance on the 3D. And even if you can't right now, just try it out for like 2 weeks or something. Or you can prove the manifestation is real. You can manifest like a purple car or a ladder experiment, whatever it may be. There are so many things you can do to not look at the 3D. Looking at the 3D is a real sin. Again, the word sin in the Bible means to fail, to miss the mark. It doesn't actually mean, being gay is going to send you to hell. It doesn't mean any of that. But a real sin is looking at the 3D. That is like a real sin. That means that you're literally failing. Think about it like this. Imagine those like prank videos in like 2015 of those guys who would go to the beach. Like I think it was like Vitaly or someone. They would like go to the beach with binoculars and they would stare at women's cleavages. And that was like the prank. And they're like, oh, I'm not looking. It's like everyone can see that you're looking. Your 3D mind, your subconscious mind is incredibly smart. It knows when you're looking. It knows when you're seeking for your goal. The entire point of manifestation is to dwell in the end that you already have your goal. And if you have binoculars on looking at that woman's cleavage and saying, oh, I'm not looking. I'm looking at the goddamn stars. No, I'm not looking over here at your cleavage. Like, it's not stupid. The woman is like the subconscious mind. Like, she's not stupid. She knows what you're doing. So when it comes to your subconscious brain, it's really smart. It's the smartest thing in the world. It literally is God. Your imagination is God. You think you can just fool it? God will not be mocked. You can't fool it. You can't just say, oh no, I'm not looking at the 3D. I'm not a person who looks at 3D. No, you are looking directly at the 3D saying, I don't have it. I don't have it. It's right here. I'm looking at 3D. I don't have it in my 3D. Where is it? When the entire point of manifestation is you're supposed to tell yourself that whatever you want is accessible to you right now. You can hold it right now. That's the entire point of manifestation. You have it now. You are the person who has it now. Or like one of those things where if you're ever in like a social gathering and someone who is like controversial, like a drunk family member who you only see like once a year, he shows up to a family gathering and your friend is like, hey, that guy, he's here. Don't look behind you. He's behind you. Don't look. And the first thing you do is look behind. It's like that. That's your like 3D. That's the stuff that you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to look back. Let's look directly at the 3D. You're supposed to, in your mind, change who you are. So stop looking for movement and stop looking at the 3D. Zone it out. Your goal is to change things in your imagination, not anything in the 3D. Now, how do you do this? Let's move on to how do you do this? Let's move on to the last segment of the video. How do you do this? How do you ignore the 3D, but also stop looking for movement in the 3D? And especially if you're on like a time crunch. This is really important if you're someone who's on like a time crunch. You're trying to manifest something on a time crunch. It's very simple. Let's be honest, it's very simple. Whatever you want, just for 10 minutes, I just want you to do like some sort of like method where you imagine you have it. You can do a visualization. You can do an image. I do images where I just imagine that I have it and then I just replay it in my head. Kind of robotically affirm. Like if I'm trying to, I don't know, let's say manifest $1,000 in my bank account and I need it by like in 2 weeks from now. All I do is I sit on my bed and I just imagine, and again, the scene is like 2 seconds of me just looking at my bank account saying, I have this and I'm ready to pay it. I have this and I'm ready to pay it. And then I robotically affirm throughout the entire day that image. I have it, I have the money and I'm ready to pay it. Whenever I get a call, I'm ready to pay it. Just in your head, imagine that nonstop. If you are trying to manifest an SP and you've been trying to manifest for a few days and you're still seeing no movement and you're still seeing your SP talk to some, third party and having Starbucks with a third party, your goal in your imagination is to do like a 2-second scene of that same day. Let's say you're sitting outside or something and your SP is at Starbucks, and instead of them talking to that person, they walk straight to you and talk to you. And you just need to replay it in your head all day. I have this, replay it all day. I have this, I have it, it's done. I'm the person who is happy. You want to treat it like a memory, basically. And by the way, I know I've said it before that when it comes to robotically affirming, even though I am a robotically affirming defender, I have said in the past, like when it comes to robotically affirming, you don't really need to imagine anything. You don't really need an image. But I will say naturally, you will always have an image, even if you don't know that you have an image, because again, your imagination is always working. You're imagining thousands of things every single second. You just don't know that you're doing it. I would recommend for this experiment, if you're someone who is like really, you really love looking at the 3D. If you really love looking at the 3D, if you really like are addicted to looking at movement, I highly recommend you do some imagery in your head. Like, I'm not saying you need to change your technique to go from robotically affirming to stay akin to sleep or anything. However, I am saying that when it comes to robotically affirming, clearly the affirmations are not hitting properly and you're still wavering and you're still looking at where is it and you're still locked into the 3D again, like you have binoculars on looking at the person's cleavage. Instead of that, because that's not working for you clearly and you're still wavering nonstop, I highly recommend you just get a visualization and you repeat that visualization through your head the entire day. And again, this is how I did the ladder experiment. Again, the ladder experiment, Neville tells you to visualize holding a ladder, climbing a ladder. And during the day, he tells you to say an affirmation with the ladder, and you're naturally thinking about the visualization that you had during the state akin to sleep, where you're climbing a ladder. So this works. Like, this isn't like a new method of mine. This is literally like Neville's method, like his opening method when it comes to teaching people about the law. This is like his tutorial. Like, his tutorial was just like imagine, use imagery. So Yeah, I would recommend that. I recommend don't look at the 3D and focus on imagery in your imagination, because I think that will sink in better to your subconscious than robotic affirmations, because that's not working for you because you're looking too much at the 3D and your imagery isn't like you don't have enough imagery in your head to like jump into it. Like when Neville was drafted into World War II, he he did state akin to sleep. He slept in his bed, and during the day he would affirm to himself and imagine that he was still with his daughter and his friends back at home and his wife back at home. I think it was in New York. That's what Neville did for like 9 days. He didn't do it the entire day, but like throughout the day, he constantly said, "No, I'm here," and he would in his head think the thoughts that he would have during if he was already at home with his wife and kids, and he would have that imagery in his head. So this isn't anything new. This is again like straight up like tutorial kindergarten like the technique I'm giving you. This is some like high in the cloud, amazing. You got to know like 100 billion things at the same time. You have to read 100 million books to figure this out. This is literally like tutorial tips that I'm giving to you. This isn't anything gigantic. This isn't anything huge. This is literally like Neville Goddard tutorial mode. Okay? And if you can't pass the tutorial mode, don't even think about getting into the actual game. Okay? We're not going to invite you to the lobby. You're going to stay in the tutorial until you figure how to just play the goddamn game. But yeah. Anyways, short video today, I know. I just want to get that out of there because I saw a lot of you guys in the comments struggling with that. So hopefully this helped you. Yeah, and again, don't look at the cleavage. Don't look at the person who is behind you and your friend saying, "Hey, that guy's behind you. Don't look." Like literally do not look. Like don't look over there. Don't look at the cleavage. Don't look at the person behind you. Genuinely lock in and visualize in your head and get imagery in your head. And again, the imagery doesn't have to be a 3-second video or a 10-second video or a movie. It just has to be 1 second clip or like a 0.1. It's just an image. Just an image. That's all you need. And the image doesn't have to be 4K at all. It can literally just be a blur. Okay, just have that blur in your head. But yeah. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah. Bye.